everybody, Joan Zodianz here, and welcome back to another episode of Spiritual Zundayz. This week we're going to be talking about the full moon in Capricorn, which also happens to be a partial lunar eclipse, and we're going to be talking about Mercury retrograde in Cancer. All right, so if you guys listened to my podcast last week, we spoke heavily about Mercury in retrograde. So I'm just going to touch up on it a little bit this week. Um, Mercury is still in retrograde and it will transition into Cancer on the 20th this Saturday. Now, what have we learned so far? We've learned that ego and pride and stubbornness will get in the way for a lot of people this month. But it's really not as bad as we thought it was going to be, right? It's not that bad. And I feel like a lot of that has to do with Mars being in Leo as well, because it's invigorating our spirits to want bigger and better things for ourselves. But it's also creating or intensifying our aggression in a good or bad way. It really just depends on you. I mean, if you've been moody or you've been like it's a lot of karmic debt going around, right? Good or bad, it's a lot of karmic debt. Either you're repaying karmic debt for what you've done for the first half of this year, or you are gaining karmic debt for all your good deeds, so you can cash that in later. And I think that a lot of people who are going through a hard time right now, they are not checking their ego, or they are dealing with somebody who's not checking their ego. We also have to remind ourselves to not let our pride get in the way of opportunities as well, because there's a lot of people out there that feel like they're above everything or above everybody else. It's not about that right now. It's about being or finding a human experience with people and kind of just showing humility at this point of time. So either you're learning it or you're teaching it to somebody. It just really depends on you. Now that's not really going to change once it goes into Cancer, because if you're not taking care of yourself during this retrograde, those negative feelings are just going to intensify under Cancer, because Cancer is the sign of feels, emotions, and moodiness, right? We are probably going to internalize a lot of how we feel, and then it's going to explode. Luckily, that only lasts until August 2nd. And when it turns direct, it's going to stay into Cancer for, I think, the half of next month. And then all of our intentions or emotional intentions will be more positive, loving, and reassuring for ourselves and for our partners. It's going to be easier to show love and compassion versus like right now, where you're probably angry or resentful for something in the past, present, or maybe in the future because you have anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, this week we are going to experience a full moon in Capricorn on the 16th, which is Tuesday, which also happens to be a partial lunar eclipse, also in Capricorn, right? They call this the full buck moon because of Native Americans. Shout out to Native Americans, or the thunder moon or the hay moon. This month, also, depending on your time zone, you could experience two new moons by the end of this month. Either July 31st or August 1st, you will experience the black moon. All right. So I've been trying to tell you guys this month was going to be a powerful transformation for people. It's either going to crush you or it's going to help you evolve, higher or lower. Like it's going to bring you up, or it's going to, ruin, or not ruin, but destroy your ego. Okay. And I've been saying ego a lot these past couple weeks, but it's such a real thing. And I feel like a lot of people don't know how to check themselves. Like they don't realize when it's happening. If you don't have that kind of self awareness, that's something you should build on. Okay. Now, what does it mean when full moons are in Capricorn? So, Capricorn is a cardinal earth sign. When we're dealing with earth signs and fire signs, we are dealing with the physical realm. All right. If these were in air or water signs, then we would be dealing with the spiritual realm. So, learn the difference between the two does. I explain that a lot in my little ebook, which by the way you can get on my website, zodiac.com. Now, under Capricorn, let's get to business because it's going to be about business and money. Under Capricorn, it's going to shed light on things that are beneficial to you. It's things that are opportunities for you. But because we're under a Mercury retrograde, don't get carried away by your passions, right? Don't get carried away by your passions unless you're skilled or you're educated in what you're passionate about. I'm going to say that again. Don't get carried away by things that you are not educated or skilled in, all right? Try to reflect on things you already know because these are the things that will make you money. So, there's no one size fits all for success, but there are a couple of things that remain the same. That's going to be commitment and consistency, right? Are you committing to this? Are you consistent about this? Because do you know what you're getting yourself into? And whether you're exploring a new career, you're going into school for something, whatever it is, whatever energy you're investing in, just make sure that it gives you the return that you want. Right? We plan for these things. These are things that we can learn from Capricorn. And that's why oftentimes Capricorns are very successful. They start very young and they mature very quickly and then they play later. These are things that you need to think of under whatever zodiac sign you are. Are these things reasonable? Are these things realistic? Are these things achievable? Can you work towards them? Can you commit to them? Can you be consistent? Because if you are answering no to these things, then you ain't ready. You ain't ready for it. It's not for you. Success may not be for everybody, and that's okay because you can't control anybody else but yourself. And I've been trying to tell you guys this, but this month is such a powerful month for people. If you are not taking advantage of it because you're afraid of the retrograde, you're afraid of your success, you're afraid of whatever the outcome, then you're not taking advantage of the time you could take to evolve past yourself. And I'm letting you know this. Don't say I didn't warn you. Don't say I didn't warn you. Don't say that I didn't tell you or try to help you come up. All right. This is a good time to reflect on that. Again, it's happening on the 16th, which is Tuesday. And because it's a partial lunar eclipse, it's partial enlightenment. Okay. So it might not give you the outcome or shed light on the outcome, which is okay. You don't always have to know what the conclusion is, but you can plan for it. You can prepare for it. Just don't get carried away by things that are just like crazy delusional. You know what I mean? Like, just make sure you can give yourself to it, commit to it. All right. Now, that's pretty much all that I didn't want to go on and on about it, you guys. I just wanted to empower you this week and be straightforward with everything that I'm saying. There are a lot of things that are happening for me as a person and me as a business, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. And I can't wait. I've been planning something for the past couple months, and it's finally coming into fruition. I hope that you guys can continue supporting my work when I do release it, because that would be so awesome. I am building a community, a spiritual community for people who love astrology and tarot and spirituality onto my own website, and I think it's going to be awesome. So I cannot wait to debut that shit. I'm also going to try, and speaking of commitment, I am really trying really hard to get better at making videos and doing things. I even cleaned out one of my other rooms in my house just to build a little studio, just so I don't have to keep moving things around or it's frustrating to create videos. Like, that's my plan for things. And this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Like, just start moving things little by little around and around, until you find that rhythm and you're like, okay, okay, I could do this. Don't get overwhelmed. If you start feeling overwhelmed, that's when you need to release things. And again, I almost forgot. And then under a full moon, we are releasing things that are no longer beneficial to us as well. So think about that too. What works and what doesn't work for you. All right. Well, I will talk to you guys next week. Love you guys so much. And thank you for all your love and support for my videos with or without my face. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.